Hi, I'm Natalie from Proven Winners ColorChoice Shrubs, and today we're going to explore a beautiful and varied species with season-long appeal, the dogwood. There are many species of dogwood, some native to North America. It's deciduous and is noted for its beautiful spring blooms. Some quick facts about dogwood include, they are one of the first ornamental trees to bloom in the spring. The dogwood flowers that traditionally come to mind with this genus are actually large bracts, surrounding a smaller, insignificant bloom. These bracts, or flowers, are very long-lasting, up to a month. After pollination, dogwoods create a type of fruit called a drupe. Often you'll hear them referred to as berries. In most cases, they're edible and can be used in cooking, though some dogwood fruit is mildly toxic to humans. The flowering dogwood tree is the state flower of North Carolina. The wood of the dogwood tree is very hard and strong. In fact, the genus name Cornus is Latin from the word cornu, which means horn, which references the hardness of the wood. The dogwood tree is the symbol of beauty, strength, and resilience. There is a vast range of different types of dogwood trees grown around the world, so they can offer different meanings to different cultures. Often associated with love, beauty, and new beginnings, the open white blooms of the dogwood have been said to symbolize purity and innocence, while the red berries symbolize passion and love. Native American culture has a rich history of storytelling, and many tales of the dogwood tree center around a young woman who, depending on the telling, is named Dogwood or sometimes Morning Star. In either case, she was in love with a man who was named Oak or Evening Star. But this fellow was promised to another woman, and Dogwood, or Morning Star, just couldn't get over him. So she prayed to the gods to turn her into a tree, so that she could be close to her love even after she died. The gods granted her wish, and according to the legend, the broken-hearted young woman became the first dogwood tree. The legend of the dogwood tree is a reminder of the enduring power of love and hope for new beginnings. The dogwood tree is still featured today in many contemporary works of art, literature, and music. Dogwood, a journal of poetry and prose, is the annual literary journal from Fairfield University that publishes fiction, poetry, and creative nonfiction. The creators say they take inspiration from a plant that has moved across the globe as a transplant and thrived as they celebrate writing that brings joy by crossing borders. The town of Fairfield, Connecticut even hosts an annual Dogwood Festival each May. In the lyrics of Heart Song, Dolly Parton sings about the sacred blossoms of the dogwood tree, tying it to her memories of family and home. In fact, the dogwood frequently appears in folk and contemporary music and art as a symbol of regional identity. Now that we've delved into some of the lore and symbolism surrounding the dogwood, let's get into some specifics about this wide and varied species. Dogwoods predominantly thrive in the eastern United States, particularly from Maine to Florida and along the west coast, with additional species found in parts of Asia, including Japan and Korea. Dogwood species find their homes in a variety of habitats, including home gardens, in forests and woodlands, and other natural areas. Dogwood trees are relatively easy to care for, but like all plants, they do require some basic care in order to thrive. Dogwoods like to be planted in full sun to partial shade, preferably in well-drained soil and in a spot where they can get regular water, especially as it's becoming established in their first year of planting. Dogwoods can be susceptible to a few pests and diseases, so monitor your tree for any signs of problems so you can remedy them quickly. Your local extension office is a great resource for identifying problems you might see and providing treatment options. There are many different species of dogwood trees and shrubs. Some of the most common types of dogwood trees include the pagoda dogwood. Now, dogwoods in general most often present with opposite leaf arrangement, meaning the leaves appear across from one another on the stem. But pagoda dogwood features foliage that is arranged alternately, rather than in opposing patterns on the stem. Hence the species name, alternifolia. Its flowers form in clusters with cream-colored blooms. It does not feature the showy bracts as you see on other dogwood trees. The pagoda dogwood is typically a multi-stemmed deciduous shrub, since its trunk only reaches about 6 inches in diameter and the branches grow horizontally. However, With pruning, it can take on the form of a small tree. The branches grow low on the plant and in layers, leaving only about a foot or two uncovered, and so the crown is flat or reminiscent of a pagoda. Golden Shadows is a beautiful pagoda dogwood, noted for its distinctive color and elegant horizontal habit. Its large heart-shaped leaves are bright yellow, dotted with an irregular green thumbprint, and the new growth flushes reddish-orange in cool conditions. Attractive lacy white flowers in spring add to its charm. And it's happiest in filtered shade, so it can find a welcome home in most gardens. Next is the flowering dogwood. When folks imagine dogwoods, this is often the variety that comes to mind. The flowering dogwood is a smaller tree with tiny yellowish green flowers surrounded by 4 long-lasting, showy, petal-like bracts, which open flat and appear like one large flower in early spring. Or sometimes those bracts can take on pink tones. Such is the case with Proven Winners ColorChoice Peachy Cream Cornus Florida, a new Proven Winners ColorChoice variety with flower forms that emerge peachy pink, then transition to white with a pink blush before showing pure white. Also known as Japanese dogwood, Korean dogwood, or Chinese dogwood, the Kousa dogwood is a small deciduous tree or multi-stemmed shrub. Like the flowering dogwood, it's a very popular variety. This is a great choice to grow alongside the flowering dogwood as it blooms about a month after Cornus Florida, so you can extend the enjoyment of fresh spring blooms in your garden. The Kousa dogwood will have gray or tan bark with a stippled exfoliating texture that can be very appealing during the winter months. And now for something completely different, but still a dogwood, there's Cornus sericea, or red twig dogwood. There are so many reasons to love this versatile, hard-working shrub. Known for its vibrant red stems in winter, red twig dogwood also offers clusters of white flowers in spring, followed by white or bluish berries that the birds love and lush green foliage that turns reddish purple in fall. It's excellent for stabilizing soil and preventing erosion, particularly in areas near streams or slopes, as it's unbothered by wet, boggy conditions. Red twig dogwood thrives in both full sun and partial shade and requires little care beyond pruning to maintain its shape and stem color. It's also disease resistant and not particularly prone to pests. Arctic Fire red twig dogwood is a compact cultivar with bright red stems. It reaches a height of just 3 to 4 feet compared to the 8 to 10 foot size of conventional types, making it ideally scaled for residential landscapes. Can a yellow twig dogwood be a red twig dogwood? Absolutely. Arctic Fire yellow dogwood offers all the durability of the species, but with vivid yellow stems. It's stunning planted on its own or interplanted with Arctic Fire red dogwood. Another benefit of this unique species is its usability as cut stems. Arctic Fire dogwood stems add color and height to outdoor planters, or you can bring the stems indoors to brighten up holiday arrangements. Plus, by cutting the stems, you're encouraging new colorful growth in the season to come. Next is another dogwood that, like red twig dogwood, features showy red winter stems, and it's called Cornus alba, or Tatarian dogwood. Also known as red-barked or Siberian dogwood, it's native to Eastern and Central Asia, or in areas inhabited by the Tatars. This is a shrubby variety that can be grown in full sun to partial shade in moist, well-drained soil. Also, like the red twig dogwood, to maintain its red stem color, remove the oldest stems in spring and encourage that new growth. Sergeant Pepper Tatarian dogwood features clean green and white variegated foliage that emerges in spring with vivid pink tones. In summer, the pink gives way to white and green until the shorter nights of late summer usher in a return of pink, and all the formerly white leaf margins transform to bright pink. As a bonus, it's also resistant to browsing by deer and rabbits. There are so many dogwoods to cover, and I only have so much time, so here are just a few more. Cornelian dogwood. This is a small, early blooming, multi-stem tree or large shrub with small cherry-like edible drupes or fruits in late summer to fall. They have small yellow blooms, are hardy and adaptable, and can thrive in full sun to partial shade. The gray dogwood, or Cornus racemosa, is a shrubby dogwood native to central and eastern parts of Canada and the United States. You'll typically see it along roadsides, in woodlands, meadows, and around the edges of forests, where it can get a little more light. This species can tolerate wet sites, even some flooding, but is also comfortable in dry, sandy soil, and even will tolerate some drought. And finally, the Pacific dogwood is a deciduous tree to the western regions of North America, known for its large, showy white bracts in spring, followed by bright red berries, then foliage that turns shades of yellow and orange in the fall. The Pacific dogwood is larger than most, growing up to 50 feet tall. And that's it. As you can see, the dogwood family is rich with history, legend, and beauty, offering something special for every season. From the timeless elegance of the flowering trees to the colorful stems of shrubs, these versatile plants bring charm and character to any landscape. While we've highlighted just a few of the most popular varieties, there are so many more to discover. Whether you're drawn to their symbolism, their easy care nature, or their year-round appeal, dogwoods are truly a gardener's dream. Thanks for watching, and happy planting!